Kahit may one na lang tayo. Pwede naman. Yan topic. Let's see. What the fish? Check ko yung iba.
Okay, we're live.
Kailangan kasi nag-experiment ako doon sa echo na function. Tinanggal ko yung echo. Kasi baka the music will sound better kung wala yung echo. Pero I guess merong sacrifices that you have to make for that to work.
Well, it sounds fine to me, yung music. So,
okay na yung music kasi nasa mono kasi tayo channel eh. So pag play mo yung music, parang nag-aaway yung voice saka music.
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know.
If you want to play, so maybe if you want to play music, put it into that setting. But when we start talking, you put it back.
Right. Pwede naman. Meron akong shinare na post bago lang. I-mention ko sa ating sa first part ng ating vlog. Okay. Sige, let's do this. Let's start. Yeah, I think I know.
All right, man.
Okay. Here we go. Hello guys, welcome to Istoryang Futbolero. My name is Ron Poblete and I'm with Eric Madraso in tonight's Istoryang Futbolero. Medyo na-late kami ngayon kasi nahihirapan kaming ilabas yung audio ni Eric. Yung pala ako yung may kasalanan.
Kung ano-ano yung ginawa ko nag-change ako ng headset, nag-restart na ng computer, wala pa rin.
Hindi kaka-figure out kung paano ipagana yung microphone. Just go. Anyway, it's been a long day for me, Rick. Actually, I've been out since this morning.
Oh, okay.
Mabot ako Naik, Cavite. Our hometown, Naik.
Oh. What's in Naik?
Yeah, grabing development na dun sa area na yun. Ang duman ko ng Sapote. Actually, I went from Las Piñas. Meron pa ng mga inner streets. Tapos bilang labas mo, Bacoor na pala kaagad.
Oh, okay.
And then I ended up going to this shop, this palier. Umabot pa ako ng Bacoor para lang paayos ng sasakyan.
Ba't ang layo? Sa'yo naman, malapit lang yun sa'yo yun.
Bro,
from Las Piñas.
I don't know if I'm sure, Rick, you don't have problems with maintaining your car. Kasi medyo mabago yung masasakyan mo. But I recently got a second-hand car na Lancer na 2001 para si Obi can practice with it. Kasi bago lang siya natutong mag-drive.
Yeah.
Old car, kailangan mong may mga kailangan ayusin. When you buy second-hand, talagang you have to make sure that mas less yung ayusin sa sasakyan. But given na yun, if you buy a second-hand car, meron talaga mga problemang lalabas, diba?
Correct.
And I just realized something from this experience. Na these days, because of the pandemic, marami talagang manloloko.
Ano nangyari?
Kasi the car kasi needs a, you know what a servo is? A servo? It's like it's a part of your engine kasi works with, it combusts your gasoline with an air fuel mixture. And the computer of your car regulates that. And it uses a servo. It's like a mechanism where doon pumapasok yung hangin and then yung gasolina. Siya rin nagbibigay ng tamang hangin para ma-burn yung gasolina na mabuti. Like the spark plugs, so it's kind of technical. It's people lang siguro na mahilig sa kotse or ang magiging interesado to talk about that. But one thing I noticed, kasi I've been speaking to a lot of mechanics just for that freaking problem. And there was just yesterday, I went to this talyer in along Sapote Road. And then alam mo yung timing? So,
Uh-huh.
this guy who's having his car fixed, na Lancer rin. I was there looking for parts. And this particular part is very expensive. Yung servo ng Lancer. So, the brand new
Okay.
is 14,000 bucks. Okay, 14,000 pesos yun. So, syempre, ikaw, sabi mo, it's a second-hand car. Why would I buy something new, no? Uh, na maybe after a year, they'll upgrade it. So, I was looking for a replacement part. And this
Okay.
guy, yung tindero nung shop, sabi niya, "Sir, yung replacement 8,500." So we were having this conversation with this guy na customer. Biglang nag-butt in. Sabi niya, "Sir, naghahanap ka ng servo? Actually, meron akong spare dyan sa likod ng sasakyan ko." Sabi ko, ganun ba? Sige nga, patingin. So, kinuha niya. And then I was looking at it. Kasi syempre, I want to know what it looks like. Diba? I'm looking at it, I'm like,
Hmm.
it looks like it. Tapos, pinakita ko dun sa guy na nagbebenta, "Sir, tama ba to?" And the guy said, "Oh, tama yan." To cut the long story short, this guy, when I finally found somebody na matino na who fixed the car, sabi niya, pinakita ko yung part, sabi niya, "Boss, ano yan eh? Sa Lazada lang yan binili." So, parang nasayang yung 2,500 pesos ko dahil sa buwisit na yun. So,
So, magkakonsyabo sila.
I don't know, man. Kakusapin ko pa nga yung guy. So, I've been, so, the only thing I did just to make sure was to
Oh,
get his number. So, I've been trying to call him up since yesterday. Binlock na yung number ko. So, I
ayun
guess
na.
talaga, meron talagang, walang may,
Connivance.
oo, ill will. Meron talaga siyang, siguro nakita niya, uy, pwede ko itong bentahan ng pyesa. Siguro, tapos yung pyesa sira.
Gago
Any,
talaga.
the reason why I'm saying this, Rick, kasi this is not, sa aking experience ko, nangyari face-to-face eh. Diba? Nangyayari din to online.
Oh,
So,
yeah, definitely.
I'm a little bit worried about people now who are stuck online who've been doing a lot of online shopping because
Yeah.
medyo mataas yung mga cases of scams sa Facebook Marketplace. So pag
Yep.
nagma-marketplace ka, tapos kahit yung mga groups na magtatanong ka, minsan magpo-post ka, di ba? Sino dyan merong ganito, ganyan-ganyan. At
Yep.
meron magprepresenta dyan na scammer.
Mm-hmm.
Yun.
Agree. Meron
So,
talaga.
yeah. So ang aking mission sa buhay is to catch these assholes. Tapos,
Papatulfo mo.
tapos ipakulong natin. Hindi, diretso na natin sa PNP. Magtatawag ako sa PNP, sa cybercrime, tapos ipag-guest ko sa ating programa. Tapos pag-usapan ng online scams. And then, we'll ask people to call in if they have experiences na na-scam sila ng isang tao sa online and they feel helpless. Then maybe we can compile all these cases and then forward it to the PNP cybercrime.
That
Buti
would be
naman meron
great.
tayong sa PNP na pwede nating tawagan. So kayo dyan, just in case na meron kayong mga experiences na you wanna share with us, just post it and then maybe we can, do something about it. Kasi alam mo, feeling ko, Rick, if you don't do anything about it, these guys will be emboldened to do it again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these types of people, they will always find ways to manloko ng tao, no? And that's really the sad truth, no? Instead of working an honest job or an honest business, they'd rather swindle people, no?
Mm-hmm.
Kasi it is kind of easy money, so they just con people into whatever products that they buy. I'll just also um, talk about my hobby here, no, yung mga sapatos, right? So I'm part of a group. It's called Adidas Stock Philippines. Hi Mervin, hi Ulysses, kung nakikinig kayo. Guys, Adidas Stock Philippines, dyan sa Facebook page na yan, na we talk about anything Adidas. So may discussion and stuff. Nagpo-post kung ano yung bago. And there is also people who sell shoes, whether it's brand new or second hand. Pero Adidas lang. So in this group, maraming rules dyan when you post. No? Tapos kung mag-post ka, dapat meron kang parang nameplate na ilagay mo dun para to prove that the pair is there on hand. It's not like yung parang kumuha lang ako ng picture sa internet para
Yeah.
i-post ko. Ganun, no? So, tapos meron pang pa-vouch. Pwede bang ipa-vouch tong seller? Kunwari si Eric Madraso, yan. Legit ba yung tao na yan? Yan. So, kung kilala ka at legit ka, people will say na, okay, legit yan. So, I feel you, no? Kasi during the lockdown and, being stuck at home, usually tumataas talaga yung instances that people actually buy stuff online already. So we have a lot of legit sites, no? Like for food, for groceries, yung mga most, no, sa Lazada Mall, sa Shopee Mall, yan, mga legit yan. Yung FB Marketplace, yun lang yung medyo delikado and I've never tried buying anything from
Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace kasi nga nakakatakot kasi walang verification process. Nakakatakot siya. So yun, it's really a concern, no? And there are a lot of people na, for example, bili ka ng sapatos, naka-advertise na, okay, Adidas, Ultra Boost, ganito, ganyan. Okay, so, usap kayo ng seller, tapos pinadala sa'yo. Pagdating sa'yo, cardboard lang pala yung laman ng box. Parang, alam mo yun?
May naalala ko ito. Ito true story, Rick. Yung bata na yung parents niya parang mangingisda. Tapos pinag-ipunan nila yung bata para mabilhan ng laptop.
Yeah.
So order sila. Hindi ko alam kung sa Lazada sila umorder, but basta umorder sila sa isang vendor. Tapos pagdating nung package, excited yung bata kasi yung bigat. Nagmadali siyang buksan, pagbukas bato ang man.
Yeah. I've heard of that.
Diba?
Story. Medyo nabalita rin yun eh. And it's really sad na maraming ganyan nangyayari. So, ang advice ko lang talaga sa mga tao na nanonood, if ever you're buying anything from the internet, make sure that it's from a legit source. Yung Facebook Marketplace talaga medyo mahirap. I'm sorry kung may mga legit na nagbebenta sa Facebook Marketplace or tsaka yung carousel. May mga ano rin dyan eh, may mga manloloko din dyan. So, yeah. And if you remember, yung isang car ko, I was trying to sell it. Diba? Tapos, I posted it in carousel and Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that. So, merong isang tumawag sa akin. Alam mo sinabi niya, parang, sige, parang gusto kong bilhin yan. Sige, parang features, nagtanong siya ng features, okay ba yung gas mileage niya? Sabi ko, medyo matakaw siya pag traffic, pero pag okay naman yung mileage, yung gas consumption. So, okay, sige, kasi may friend ako na merong laundry shop na kailangan ng kotse para sa negosyo niya. So, doon palang nagtaka na ako, parang, wow, kotse ko Ford Escape Ford Escape, yung bagong Ford Escape. So, ko parang, di ba parang Ford Fiera lang yung kailangan mo dyan? O yung mga Tamaraw lang yung kailangan mo dyan sa pag-laundry shop? So, ko parang, okay. So, saan po located yung yung laundry shop? Sa may Tagig po. Okay, sige. Sige, ganun siya sa akin. Sige, sir, kausapin ko muna yung kaibigan ko. Kaibigan ba? Pinsan niya o something like that. Okay, sige. So, I was entertaining other people. Tapos, biglang, sige sir, bilhin ko na, ganun. Tapos, sige, anuhin ko na lang po, ayusin ko yung deed of sale, gumanon ako. Tapos sabi niya, sige, meet up na lang tayo, meet up tayo on a holiday. Holiday ba sa isang holiday yun eh. So, sige po, saan po banda? Sa Quezon City. So, patay, ang layo, gumanon ako. Saan po doon? Meron kasing sa ganitong street, kunwari Quezon Ave or something, may BPI dyan. Doon tayo sa likod ng BPI mag-meet, gumanon siya. Tapos, okay, ano po yung mode of payment? So, bibiliin ko siya cash, gumanon siya sa akin. So, parang, pucha, tapos sa likod ng BPI, on a holiday, pa-hold upin lang ako nito, kunin yung kotse ko. Alam mo yun? Tapos sabi ko
Actually,
parang, o sige po, sige kasi medyo malayo yung Quezon City.
mm,
Magpapasama na lang sa kaibigan ko pero may ride ako pa uwi if ever. Gumunin ako sa kanya. Tsaka ma'am, pwede bang mahiram ang
babae.
IDs? Oo, babae. Maayos ka usap ha. Ma'am, pahingi na lang din ng IDs ng bibili kasi kailangan po yan sa deed of sale kasi ita-transfer ko rin yung
Mm,
yung tawag nito, comprehensive insurance muna na sa ita-transfer ko rin kasi sa pangalan niya. Kasi kung
ah,
hindi siya makaka-claim kung kung
correct.
merong aksidente mangyari. Tapos, sige, ganun siya, sige, tawagan ko yung friend ko. Tapos, after a week, hindi ko na siya narinig, bro. So, tinext ko, parang, ma'am, ano na nangyari? Parang, tuloy ba? Ano bang, ano? Pero may kutob na talaga ako na parang, I'm gonna walk away from this. Gumanon ako. So, alam mo, sinabi niya, ay, hindi na daw niya bibilihin. Ay, bakit po? Ano po nangyari? Di, akala kasi niya nabenta na. So, ko parang, ha? Paano niya nalaman? Hindi ko namang, hindi ko
Mm,
naman, never ko naman nakausap yung kaibigan niya from the States, di ba? So, parang, so, hinayaan ko na lang. So, aside from sellers na gusto mag-swindle, meron ding buyers na gusto mag-swindle. So, malamang pagdating doon, tutukan na lang ng baril and they're gonna take my car. Alam mo yun?
actually, tama yung instinct mo na yun. Ganong
Yeah.
klaseng conversations. Kasi, actually, I know somebody, may kakilala ako na talagang na-hold up. This was in
Oh,
2014, 2013, panahon ni Pinoy. Um, this guy is like super dilawan, by the way.
oh no.
Tapos, anyway, he had, ano ba yung kotse na binibenta niya nun? I think it was basta SUV eh. Fortuner yata.
Okay.
So, may
Hot
guy,
item.
oo, so,
Pag ganyan, hot
pumunta,
item yun.
pinunta talaga siya sa building, sa condominium. Tapos may dalang envelope, tapos may pinakitang cash, yan na, sige sir, kukunin ko na to pero pwede bang i-test drive? So, sige. So, tinest drive, sakay sa sakyan, tapos diretso EDSA. Pagdaan ng bandang mga santolan yata, siya biglang tinutukan siya ng baril, bro.
Pinababa siya.
Pinababa siya sa sakyan.
Yeah, yun siguro ang that's
Ah,
probably what would happen to me if ever that happened. Kung tinuloy ko yung transaction na yun.
yun.
So sinabi ko parang, okay, wag na, ayoko nang, hindi ko na, even if this person says, tara, tuloy tayo. Ay, isa pala yung sinabi ko, ma'am, kasi, ayoko kasi magdala ng ng malaking cash sa akin. Okay lang ba na hindi tayo sa holiday magkita? Kung pwede ba workday, tsaka sa loob ng BPI para ma-deposit ko kagad sa account ko.
Mm. Ah,
Gumanon ako.
ano
Tapos doon
sabi?
medyo alanganin na siya. Parang, pwede naman. Sige, gumanon siya. So, tapos afternoon, yun pala, hindi ko na siya narinig after. So, grabe
Ito,
diba?
wild to rig, itong guy na na humold up dun sa kakilala ko. Talaga palang notorious na carnapper na may
So
na
okay.
may connection sa taas.
Oh,
Kasi ganito yan,
oh,
yung time ni Pinoy daw, may mga generals talaga na yung mga protector na mga ganyan. So may mga kapit silang ganyan, tapos meron silang mga modus. Ano to allegedly. So mga siguro to mga, di ba, tinanggal ni Digong lahat yan mga scalawags na yan may mga connection sa sa sindikato. And this
mm,
guy is a known talagang notorious killer. That's what he does is, yun, kakarnap lang siya, tapos dadalhin sa probinsya yung sasakyan, chachap-chapin, or
yeah,
papalit, papalitan ng plate number, tapos papadala
yeah.
sa Mindanao. Ganun.
Correct.
Tapos meron silang connection sa LTO na babaguhin yung yung
Mm,
rehistro.
yep,
Crazy, di ba?
that's what they do. Yung mga carnap yung mga naka-carnap, hindi mo na makikita ever yan. Kasi, i-chop-chop talaga yan. Tapos yung mga parts, ipapadala sa wherever. And mostly, pinapadala sa Mindanao. Tapos ina-assemble nila ulit doon, i-register nila ulit, tapos bebenta nila.
Pero this guy, wala na. I think he got killed. Nag-shoot out with a HPG, I think, or that's the last thing I heard about this guy.
That's good.
Pangalan ng guy yun. Parang something na parang Middle Eastern eh. Yung, kumbaga, it's like a colloquial term you use for somebody na, alam mo, oy, tisoy, parang ganun. Alam mo yung parang ganun.
Command pick, mga ganun.
Ingat lang tayo sa mga scammers kasi marami po sila ngayon. Especially the target people na medyo, let's say if you're kasi hindi mo maiwasan, Rick, diba? If you're obsessed about something you wanna buy and then you see it tapos bigla na, uy, mura pagka nito pagka presyo nito Tapos and then the person you speak to medyo may pagka-assuming, seems very nice. Tapos very accommodating. They'll go out of their way. Tipong meron silang mga tricks of the trade, Rick eh. Like sabihin nila, sir, okay lang sir, kahit na wag mo na akong bayaran. Mga ganun eh. Yung, inihin ko muna, kung ano lang sir, kahit na, tapos bigla na lang eventually, pag medyo mag-gain na nila yung trust mo, bigla meron silang sasabihin sa'yo na parang, ay sir, okay lang ba na magpadala ka ng 1,000? Para lang kasi kailangan na ano ko na medyo, mga gano'n. Yung mga unti-untiin ka. Tapos bigla na lang, wala namang pinapadala itong hayop na to.
Ganun. Maraming ganyan sa car registration. Yung mga pictures.
Yes!
Maraming ganyan.
Ay, biktima dyan. Na gano'n. Meron ako, I remember speaking to this guy pa. Kasi tinry ko i-verify, scammer siguro to. Tapos alam mo paano makipag-usap, Rick? Yung mabulol-bulol pa. Yung, sir, kasi ganun pa yung, so hindi mo talagang isipin na gago. Pero yung talagang sabihin na kunyari, meron siyang, sir, meron ang connection sa LTO, tapos papakita ng picture, nakatalikod yung guy. Tito ko po yan. Siya yung naglalakad ng
meron pala tayong mga early viewers, no? Si Mike Apolonio, good evening. Juvie Taguba from Singapore, hello. Julio Trenta is here tonight again. Marvic Solis is also watching. Thank you very much. Si Juvie Taguba actually mentioned something dito sa comments niya. Kaya po maganda na registered talaga dapat mga SIM cards para malaman kung sino-sino may-ari ng tumatawag sa iyo. Maraming matatakot na manloloko. Correct. In other countries, for example, we went to places like Singapore, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Thailand. Sa airport pa lang, pagbili mo ng SIM card, hihingan ka ng passport.
Hindi ka pwede ng SIM card pag wala kang identification.
Correct. So, dapat ganun, no? So, they know who is handling that, kasi in places like that naman, like I think it was Vietnam when I experienced that. In Vietnam kasi maraming mga foreigners pumupunta doon at nangloloko, nagsiscam. So that's why they did that. So they required every SIM card purchase that you will present a valid ID. So yun talaga, And ang problema kasi dito sa Pilipinas, binoblock ng mga politicians natin yung ganyang klaseng proposal kasi sila maraming sikreto.
Hindi talaga, ganun ba? Binoblock ba nila?
Kasi for example, national ID pa lang, di ba? Yung national ID, binoblock nila yan eh. Ayaw nila yan kasi maraming...
it's a law already, Rick. It's about to be implemented.
Yeah, parang panahon pa ata ni GMA yan, national ID na yan eh. Hindi pa rin na,
Pero dyan yung mga komunista, ayaw nilang ma-identify kasi they're
correct.
using these phones or means of communication for nefarious or kaduda-duda na mga purposes. Si Marivic Solis, sabi nga niya, Congressman Wes Gatchalian is pushing for a law to regulate online selling. You can check out the link, House Bill 6122 or Proposed Internet Transactions Act aims to protect consumers who are fond of shopping online, especially while they are at home amid the general community quarantine imposed to curb COVID-19 spread. Thank you for that, Marivic. Sabi ni Julio, 3% lang na yung may ayaw sa national ID. Speaking of the 3%, there's this guy. I was telling about Rick na nakakatawa kasi remember Buboy?
Yeah. What's siya?
May tweet kasi itong si Mr. Jim Paredes. And syempre merong retort si Buboy doon sa kanyang tweet ni Jim Paredes na nakakatawa. I just wanted to share it with you kasi
go ahead.
I thought it's hella funny. Ewan ko kung nakita nito ang mga ating mga kaibigan or ating mga viewers. Let me share screen the particular tweet from Jim Paredes.
All right.
Sabi ni Jim Paredes, it's so easy to bring the trolls out. They fall for certain tweets and have to comment. Parang mousetrap. Profile, fake name, fake pic, mayabang, nananakot, and mostly less than 5 followers. Blocked. And laughing out loud. And then our friend Buboy answers back, tags him and says, it's so easy to spot a pervert. They usually go online and take a video of themselves jerking off. Parang nanalamas ng maliit na talong. Profile, Laos name, horrendous pic, malibog, matanda, and mostly poor wife has pervert of a husband followed for Pisot Entertainment.
Oh my God.
Tawa kanina when I saw it. This guy, he still has the audacity to actually post stuff against the people, the administration, and then wala. Parang he has short-term memory, unfortunately, for most of the people who hate him, or who doesn't like him, who don't like him. They will always remember that infamous video that was posted with him doing that. No? So
I'm sorry, but I mean, I didn't see that video. I refuse to watch that video, but I know that it happened.
it's kind of gross.
Pero
Yeah.
it is gross. I mean, come on, man. I mean,
Kaya, those are the two things that you have to be careful about when you're on social media. One is to be careful of scammers. Number two is to do something really silly like what Jim Paredes did online, because there's may chance dyan somebody's videotaping you and will blackmail you for doing so.
oh yeah, man. Definitely. I mean, hindi pa sila natuto sa mga so many scandals already, right? I mean, hindi pa sila natuto sa ganyan. And yeah, you were saying that Jim Paredes has the audacity to still post what he does, no? I mean, what he says. And really, for me kasi, in their mind, they're untouchable. In their mind, they're right, they're perfect, and they do have an agenda. They have work to do. They need to bring this Duterte guy down, right? So, I mean, there's no stopping them, man. There's no stopping them.
Yan ang tinatawag na poetic justice, Eric.
Yeah.
Sabi ni Suzy Susie Pie, dapat cashless na rin talaga gaya dito sa ibang bansa para iwas hold up. Hindi ko lang sure kung paano kapag sa jeep at tricycle.
You know what? You know what they can do sa jeep and tricycle? Either they can actually enroll sa beep and they can use beep cards, or they can get a QR code from GCash or Paymaya. They can actually do that. Tapos i-post lang nila yung QR code dun sa jeep or sa ano. Tapos people can pay using that. Ganun lang. Beep, 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 beep. Ganun lang. Diba?
Sabi ni Julio Trenta, savage daw. Nang reply ni Sir Buboy kay Mang Jack. Anyway, Rick, so we have a list of things that I want to talk about when startup.
Yeah.
Well, apart from the scams, because I really want to get somebody from the PNP to join us so that they can, some pointers, and maybe you can also complain. You don't have to go to Tulfo to complain. You can go directly to the PNP and tell them, "Oh, this guy scammed me," and then you can probably bring your evidence. Para agad, di ba? Diretsuhan at matulungan natin ng PNP para mas itong mga problema na to. Parang madala itong mga scammers na to kasi feeling nila social media is the wild, wild west. They can do anything, and then what protects them is that they're protected by the anonymity of doing something like that on social media, because not everybody can trace them. No one has the expertise to actually use an IP address and trace them, but definitely the authorities can do that. And so ano na lang pasensyahan na lang tayo. Yung mga scammers dyan, darating rin yung araw ninyo, sigurado. Kasi hindi lahat ng crime doesn't pay, right, Rick?
Yep. You will always get caught. Tapos, lalo na sa internet stuff na yan, it's so easy to track people using the IP addresses. Masyadong madali. As explained by, sino nga yung guest natin before? Yung parang pinsan ni John D. Yeah, pinsan ni John D. He was talking about cybersecurity, right? Tapos yung how they can actually trace back to you, sobrang dali lang daw. Parang, okay.
Yeah, so, sige lang, kasi yung mga scammers naman dyan, yung iba dyan, they're not as smart as you think. They're kind of stupid too. So, marami rin naman nahuli na rin. They publicize rin ngayon iba yung mga nahuli na scammers, tapos kita mo naka-handcuffs or nasa kulungan. So, dapat tayo, maging, huwag tayong ma-discourage. Pag na-scam tayo, i-report nyo para may chance na mahuli. Kasi pag hindi nyo i-report, tapos sabihin lang ninyo, sige na lang, okay na lang. Lalo silang ma-embolden, like I said kanina, di ba? Lalo nilang gagawin yung kalokohan nila pag hindi ninyo isumbong sa police or isumbong sa 8888. 888 actually more on sa government, but call your authorities, report the scams that you become a victim of. By the way, one of our topics tonight, Rick, is about the 2022 election, because naging issue, or it was, I think a few days ago, it was in the news na si Manny Pacquiao is the new PDP Laban president.
Yeah.
And speculations abound na, oy, tatakbo si Manny, tatakbo pagka-presidente. Baka ano na to? Simula na to. I mean, yung mga changing of the guards, it can be, you cannot take them for granted. It can be a sign of things to come. For them to, well, sabagay, it's an important thing. So it's newsworthy. But at the same time, is it intentional that they did that? Na para ipakita na the position of power ngayon si Manny, and he can be a prospect to run for president in 2022. What do you think, Rick? Is this something that you would want to happen? fellow Bisaya natin si Manny. He's a
Yeah.
good guy, but does he have the capacity or the guile like President Duterte, or the uh, a deep understanding of people's behavior, yung tipong meron siyang um, I don't know, ability to read people. Meron ba siya niyan, Rick? Kasi importante
Um,
yan for somebody who's gonna be president eh. Dapat alam niyo yung mga kalokohan ng mga tao to be
um,
effective.
well, in terms of his personality, syempre hindi ko siya kilala personally. But he came from the streets. He came from being poor. He's a self-made man. He's now
Mm.
world class boxer, 8-time champion, and all that. He became congressman, and he's now a senator. And from ako, in my mind, kung saan siya nanggaling at habang paakyat siya dun sa boxing career niya, ilang beses na rin siyang naloko, for sure. Marami na rin nag-try, maraming nag-succeed, maraming nag-fail, nalokohin siya. I will I will cite one instance na naloko siya. Early in his career.
Oh, totoo to.
Uh,
We,
Totoo. Because I was there. Hindi ko lang pwede sabihin kung anong establishment or whatever, ganyan. Basta, ano
okay.
siya. Kasi Manny Pacquiao deals with a lot of banks. And one of the, okay, hindi ko na lang sabihin. Basta, and there was this time that kasikatan na niya, no? Nagiging champion na siya and everything. So, lahat ng mga bangko naliligaw talaga sa kanya. No, whether to open up an account or to resell, no, different products. And this particular bank went to him and said, well, not the whole bank, no, but this employee of the bank went to him and said, Manny, baka gusto mong mag-apply ng loan, no, just in case kailangan mo ng housing loan or whatever loan, ganyan. Sabi ni Man, parang hindi ko naman kailangan kasi medyo liquid ako ngayon, dami akong pera. Oo nga, pero alam mo yun, just in case, at least ready na. So, nandun yung documents mo, nandun yung requirements, ipa-approve na natin. Tapos kung kailangan mo man lang, release na lang namin yung pera.
Hmm.
Ano mo nangyari? Sabi ni Manny, sige, trust kita eh. Diba? Sige, ibigay kita. Inasikaso niya yung papeles. Pinasikaso niya. Nung na-approve yung loan niya, kinash out nung bank employee at ginamit niya. Tapos, ito pa yung nakakatawa. Si bank employee, hindi lang si Manny Pacquiao ang biniktima. No? So, what am I trying to say? Si Pacman, growing up, marami na siyang naengkwentrong klaseng tao. No? Marurumi and people who are honest to him, people who love him, people who wants to get money from him also. Nung marami na siyang naengkwentro. Especially probably ngayon sa political life niya. Marami na siyang naengkwentro mga buhaya dyan. So in my mind, baka alam na rin niya on how to look at people and how to
deal
discern.
with them.
Yeah, and how to discern also.
Okay.
And yung career kasi niya as congressman, parang wala lang di ba? He was the most absent person in Congress.
Yung issue sa Congress before, Rick, I think is yung kanyang absences, di ba? Notorious for not attending the sessions, but
yes. But now that he's senator, sorry?
Was it really that bad when he was congressman?
I think he only, don't quote me, but I think when he was in Congress, he only attended 3 sessions and that's it. Now, that he's senator, now that when he was running for senator, or when he made the decision to run for senator, he acknowledged that mistake. Sinabi niya, Oo, naintindihan ko na hindi ako naka-attend dun ng mga sessions. Talagang absent ako and everything. So, wala akong ginawa. Pero I promise, if I win a Senate seat, I will work my ass off. Magtatrabaho talaga ako kasi nakakahiya na sa inyo na people who who look up to me, voted for me, and hindi naman ako nagtatrabaho. Now, if you look at him in the Senate right now, he is working. Lagi siya nandoon. Diba? Nagsasalita siya. He has his own opinions. And he's trying his best to work as a senator. Right? So, may mga bills na rin natin siya pinas and everything. No?
Mm-hmm. Sabi
So,
ni sabi ni Juvie Taguba, Rick, Manny is a good man pero maging presidente, wag po muna. Opinion ko lang po.
I mean, kasi,
Tsaka sa Julio 30, 50-50 okay Pacman, Vice President, pwede. Alam mo, Rick, ang issue kay Manny kasi, look, hindi talaga rin maiwasan sa panahon ni Digong. Sa last 4 years, it's been very impressive ang performance ni Presidente. Kahit na may yung 3%, sobrang daldal, puro reklamo, puro, puro black propaganda, bad PR. The truth of the matter is, si PRRD, talagang siya, magaling siya na politician. At saka marami siyang accomplishments. Madami siyang nagawa talaga. Given the limitations, given the contra, the anti, the the bureaucracy, given all the challenges, no, the bagyos, the what happened in Marawi, ang dami talaga pinagdaan presidente. Yung mga volcanic eruption, yung Boracay issue, ang dami talaga, di ba? Ang dami talaga niyang hinarap na talagang it would take a very strong man to actually be decisive about things, not considering whether or not it's gonna affect his popularity, but he did it anyway, even if it's not popular, even if it's there's a noisy bunch na who are contradicting every step of the way, diba? Everything that he does. Wala, ginawa pa rin niya. As in, he was able to accomplish so much. So ngayon, pag pumili tayo ng tao for 2022, isipin talaga natin yung, i-compare natin kay Digong. Diba? So if si Manny is gonna run for president in 2022, the first thing you're gonna ask yourself is he anywhere near the caliber of President Duterte? Kasi ayaw na natin ng somebody na mas mababa sa standard ni sa kalidad ni PRRD. Gusto natin na ganun din yung ability. So kung merong tatakbo diyan na hindi mo mako-compare kay President Duterte in terms of ability, in terms of know-how, experience, willpower, political will, di bali na. Kasi gusto natin continuity. Gusto natin na tuloy-tuloy yung mga pagbabago na inimpisahan ni President Duterte. Yun yung dyan, ang pinakamalaking tanong dyan. So,
it's gonna be tough, no? Kasi, for example, Manny Pacquiao runs and then Sara Duterte runs as well. Mahahati talaga yung boto.
Tingin mo mahahati? Or
sa tingin ko, kasi look at the clout of Manny Pacquiao. Look at the clout of Manny Pacquiao.
Never number one sa Senate race. Hindi siya, kung si Manny, number one ba siya sa Senate race when he ran? So that's a quick indicator of his political tawag nito, political capital. Meron ba siyang ganun kalaki na base? Because even somebody who is not as charismatic as Cynthia Villar is a top-notcher sa Senate race. Hindi sino bang ang kasabay ni Manny Pacquiao nung tumakbo siya for Senate? 2016 siya na batch, diba?
Yeah.
Sino bang number one nun? Number one nung time na yun yata si Yun, si Villar.
Villar, yeah.
Diba? So,
Well,
kung hindi,
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But what I'm saying is, um, between Sara Duterte and Manny Pacquiao, there will be people who will vote for Manny Pacquiao. Yun lang
ayun,
yun.
sabi ni Julio 30, si Drilon pala yung number one. Tama, tama ka ano, si Villar number one nung 2019. 2016 si
Grabe,
Drilon.
grabe si
Si
Drilon, no? Tulog
si
lang, walang ginagawa. Number one pa rin.
si
Ano kaya nangyayari yun?
si Boy Tulog. Yeah, siya yung number one nung ano,
Sabi
nung
ko, alam mo yun, wala akong gawin, tapos number one pa rin ako. Paano ba yun? How to be him?
wala eh. Ano siya eh, matunog na yung pangalan niya eh. Tsaka iba yung labanan sa Senate, hindi siya kung baga, ang chance of you becoming number one, malaki ang kinalaman doon sa name recall na kung pupili ka ng top 12 mo, lista mo, kahit na hindi first choice mo si Drilon, masasama mo siya sa listahan kasi kilala siya. So kunyari,
Yeah,
o ito, kasama doon si Pacquiao, whoever, and then kahit pa paano masisingit mo pa rin si Drilon. Pero sa sheer popularity of the name of Drilon, kahit na second, third, fourth choice siya, he ends up having the number one spot because most people, siya yung kanyang siya yung fourth
yeah,
choice, fifth choice. Diba?
yeah, that's true.
You guys can correct me if my math is quite wrong, but I think that's how Drilon won. Not because he's like very popular, not because he is such a good candidate, but it's just
May timas na rin.
pero ewan ko lang, pag tumakbo uli yan, hindi na siguro mananalo yan. Si Bam,
Baka
Sino
hindi
nga,
na.
hindi nanalo
Sana
eh.
naman di na. I mean,
Diba?
sana naman. Sana naman.
Sabi ni, ayun, si Julio, who did the research for us, si Drilon number one, noong 2016, Joel Villanueva number two, number 7 lang si Pacman. Oh.
Yep.
So, di ba, isipin mo si Pacman, pambansang kamao natin yun eh. Yan yung grabe yung pag may laban sa Amerika, di ba? Buong Pilipinas, walang crime rate, zero. Lahat nasa bahay, nanonood ng laban ni Pacquiao. Pero nagta-translate ba sa boto? Hindi.
Yeah. Ito, I mean, Mike tsaka si Nielsen may sinasabi. Kung parliamentary lang sana tayo, mas madali sana itong problema natin.
Sabi ni Mike, kung parliamentary system na kasi, sure, yeah. Si Colmenares, by the way, the correct movement kasi I think they posted something, a video of Neri Colmenares talking about the parliamentary system in a positive light. I think these people, lalo na yung mga ating mga veteran politicians, they understand that the system needs to be changed, but they're not going to admit it because of the fact that they thrive in this system.
They're gonna lose footing. They're gonna lose power.
Advantage.
That's one of the things that
Sabi ni, kilala mo ba si Juvie Taguba, Rick? Kaibigan mo ba to?
Hindi pa naman. I think she's watching from Singapore.
Okay. Viewer from Singapore. Sabi niya si PRD, may balls may paninindigan. Di siya nagpapanipula. So, dapat ang next na president natin, same kay Duterte. Kaya dapat maging wise tayo sa pagpili. Hindi yung may sinusunod. And, basta meron na tayong madali nang i-compare ng mga tao ngayon kung sino yung alanganin. Pag anywhere similar to somebody like Mar Rojas, guaranteed matatalo yan. Kaya yung ginagawa nila kay Vice President Leni Robredo na puro press con, tapos scripted, tapos merong
look at Lenny. Lenny never goes live. Kasi nga baka maipit siya. So lagi na lang canned yung mga niya, appearances niya sa television.
Yeah, well, he did a few interviews in the times that she did interviews like kunyari on the radio. Hindi siya ganun ka-articulate rin eh. I mean, there was I was a little bit impressed during the vice presidential debates in 2016 kasi she was able to hold her own debating with the other candidates. But may preparation involved there, and I think she was able to pull it off because of the fact that she came prepared. But if you come in parang spontaneous like PRRD would,
Yeah.
you just swing it and still
And
come stop a substance. Ang problema
yeah.
kay VP Lenny, medyo siya talagang I don't know. Hindi siya
Um, magaling
convincing.
si Lenny, magaling si Lenny dun sa debates kasi nga the questions are forwarded to you ano before like a week before and you can actually prepare for that. Diba?
Diba? Hindi ako sure dyan about that trick na the questions have been sent to the candidates prior to the debates.
Yeah, I mean, the general idea kung ano yung mga itatanong,
Okay.
sinasabi na yan.
Pwede. Sabi ni Mike Apolonio, kahit sino pang perpektong tao ilagay sa pagiging presidente ng Pinas. Kung yung bulok ng 1987, Cory Constitution, presidential system ang pinapairal, wala pa ulit-ulit. Mhm.
That's true. That's actually a very good point, Mike.
Yeah, tama ka.
A sad
Ah,
point.
Sabi ni Marivic Solis, a blogger would say na wala siyang nakikitang susuportan after ng term ni PRRD. Sabi pa niya, si PRRD lang daw ang puon level. Maybe she meant that PRRD is really excellent. She is afraid that popularity politics na naman iiral and she supports constitutional reform. Maganda naman ang talaga na ibahin na ang political system natin. Alam niyo guys,
Yeah.
share ko na lang sa inyo to those our few viewers who are watching right now. I just want to share a video with you na I shared with Orion, I think via PM. And Michael Douglas ang ginamit nila na personality to promote this parang siya eh. It's like a movement.
What's it called?
Teka. So, gaano kahaba ba tong video na to? Tingnan ko kung pwede. Ayan, sige, play kayo natin. If you have the time to watch, check it out, Rick. Let's do a whole viewing of an example of something that we can do here in the Philippines. Na I think we need to rile the troops or parang to... Ito sabi ni Mike, si Jam Magno, sana sumuporta sa constitutional reforms. Kilala mo ba si Jam Magno, Rick? Nag-viral siya na DDS supporter.
Okay.
And she's been criticizing the the Makabayan bloc and tsaka yung ating mga komunista. Tapos she's very articulate.
Okay.
Maraming and she's a pretty face too. That's why she became popular. Kasi siya, matalino, maganda pa.
Okay.
DDS. So sumisikat siya ngayon. Taga Davao bay. She's a Bisaya. She's based in Cagayan yata or something. I don't know. People will probably correct me. They will yung mga nakilala kay Jam Magno. Anyway, guys, I want to share this video. If you have the time, check it out. It's very, very provocative and interesting, and I think it's something that we can probably do. If we're going to do campaigns, might as well do something like this. This is about Unbreaking America, Divided We Fall. That's the title of the video. And this talks about the political system and how corrupt it is in America. And I think it's similar to what we are experiencing here. So I want to share with you this video from Michael Douglas. And you tell me what you think.
America's political system has been hijacked to ensure those with power keep it. If you look at American politics and think everything is fine, this video is not for you. To the rest of us, things seem pretty broken. I mean, our forefathers created a beautiful system and we live in a magical country. How the hell did things get so bad? These days, just 2% of Americans trust that our elections work how they're supposed to. Congress has an approval rating of 20%. Our leaders are locked in partisan warfare and they aren't fixing anything. And we're angry. We're angry at the system and at each other. Our country is getting poorer, sicker, more divided, and our families are paying the price. We don't even talk to each other anymore. America's political system has been hijacked to ensure those with power keep it. And for the rest of us, well, it's not so good. I'm going to show you exactly how today's political system is creating the problem, exactly how we fix it, and how the solution ultimately depends on you. This Venn diagram shows the relationship between an elected official doing what the people want and their likelihood of getting reelected. Ideally, they serve the people and have a high likelihood of reelection. But a recent Harvard Business School report by Professor Michael Porter and Catherine Gale showed that the relationship looks more like this. They found virtually no correlation between serving the will of the people and getting reelected. In other words, if our elected leaders do their jobs, they're more likely to lose their jobs. How is that possible? The report blames it on two privately held, gain-seeking organizations, America's two major political parties. In 2019, both major parties publicly threatened to blacklist candidates and contractors who veered from the party lines. They control the money, the debates, the primaries, they even draw their own voting districts. A full 61% of Americans want another option. But any third party or independent who runs is seen as a spoiler. So year after year, choose between the lesser of two evils, Democrats, Republicans, Democrats. In any other environment, a new competitor would swoop in to better serve their constituency. You hate your cable company? Here comes streaming. But the two parties have rigged the system to block competition. But it gets worse. In 86% of House races, we now know which party will win the general election before it even starts. That means all of the competitions in the primaries, where as few as 14% of voters participate. Primary voters tend to be more partisan than those who vote in the general election. So the most partisan candidates win the primary, virtually guaranteed to win the general, so you can guess what happens next. Over time, the parties move further and further apart. This graphic shows members of Congress who worked for the other party to pass a law in 1953. The gray lines represent their collaboration. The more lines you see, the more times they crossed party lines to pass a law. This is how it looked in 67. In 81. Look what happened in 1995, and by 2011 it represents where we are today. Hardliners are rewarded, collaboration is vilified. Congress is so gridlocked they can't even pass the most basic laws to improve the lives of everyday Americans. For the first time since the Great Depression, life expectancy in the U.S. is actually going down while it goes up in the rest of the world. We were once ranked top in the world for education. We've fallen to 27th. We can't afford life-saving prescriptions, and medical bills are forcing families into bankruptcy. Almost half of American families can't even afford basic necessities like rent and food. What I want to know is, how do we fix it? You know, I think I'm getting a little carried away here, so I'm going to bring my friend Josh in while I calm down.
We need to take our government back and make it work for us. So much of what's failing is a symptom of our failed elections. Look, this isn't about giving power to the right or to the left or asking Congress to fix itself, because frankly, they won't. So we have to go around Congress. And the good news is, in the US, states run elections, even federal elections. So when we pass election laws in a state, it affects the federal elections. And get this, a Bloomberg News study showed that throughout American history, passing state laws has been the key to creating massive federal change. And the law we need to pass It's called the American Anti-Corruption Act. It fixes the system so government can work for you and your family, not just a handful of special interests and political insiders. Here's how it works. We have independent commissions draw voting districts. We make it illegal for lobbyists to donate to politicians. We give every voter a $100 tax credit that they can use to support the candidate of their choice. We put reasonable term limits on elected officials. We implement ranked choice voting to allow independents and third parties to run without spoiling elections. And finally, we enact secure, automatic voter registration and vote from home ballots. So now you've got more people voting and it's easier to vote. This is common sense stuff. It creates a Congress that's more responsive to the people and can finally get stuff done. Look, we've pulled this law and it's incredibly popular across party lines. All we have to do is pass them in states across the country. How do we do that?
Aha! Thank you, Josh. That brings us to this simple pie chart. It shows the percentage of a population required to create real and lasting change. Researchers looked at movements from all over the world and found that 3.5% of a population actively engaged in fighting for change. They went every single time. In America, 3.5% is 11 million people, and it needs to be conservatives, progressives, and independents together. America is roughly divided into thirds. That means no one group has the power to do it alone. And here's the best part. Millions are already involved in the movement, and together, they've already racked up more than 100 victories in cities and states across America. But we need millions more, and that's why I'm talking to you. Here's what I need you to do right now. Go to represent.us and sign up to be part of the next anti-corruption victory in your state. There are already people near you fighting, and they need your help. If that's not for you, then join the Commonwealth, a community of people giving whatever amount they can every month to support local anti-corruption campaigns. Every single dollar goes to the front lines of the fight, not to overhead or organizational expenses. All I'm asking is that everyone who watches this video needs to do something. That you do something. Because you can be damn sure if you do nothing, nothing is going to change. I'm here to tell you that your voice does matter. Join us.
Ano, Rick? Ayos ba?
Ganda. And actually,
It's cool, right?
that's one of the things that I wanted to say dun sa sinabi ni Marivic mo yun about the blogger na sabi niya na poon kasi si Digong and everything. I think the next election is really going to depend on us. Tayo talaga yung magde-decide kung sino talaga natin gustong magpumupo dyan at mag-continue ng legacy ni Duterte. So, for example, we have a 92%, 93% approval rating kay Duterte, if I'm not mistaken.
91%.
91%. So, this 91% like what Duterte is doing and they want it to continue, right? So, kung sino ang nakikita nilang candidate on 2022 that can actually continue what Duterte is doing, then that's the right candidate. No, it's going to be up to us. So yung worry mo na ano pangalan niya, si Marivic, yung worry mo if popularity politics is going to come back, that will only happen if walang candidate na tatakbo that will continue Duterte's legacy. That's what's going to happen.
The reason why I'm showing you that video is because kailangan natin ng something similar to that, a very strong message. Can you imagine, like Correct Movement, for example, they're really promoting, they're pushing for constitutional reform, and so are we. From the DILG, we're really pushing for constitutional reform, but hindi natin na frame into something na parang very compelling that Like for example, corruption is really a big issue, di ba? Kahit sino ko sabi mo, pag pinag-usapan corruption. Kaya para sa akin, maganda yung example na ginawa parang movement sa Amerika na they used si Michael Douglas and they're pushing for um, this movement to push for this law at to talaga finally say na to stop the politicking, to stop the influence peddling happening in government. And that's exactly that's what's happening right now in the Philippines. Hindi yun ang mga kaya maraming tao na exasperated rin, na pagod rin, na hindi rin sila ganado na maging activist in that sense is because ang kanilang mentality is ay nako, ganyan talaga gobyerno. Yung mga politician natin talagang corrupt yan. Wala tayong magagawa dyan. Kahit na yung mga ano natin, yung si mayor, si police, sino ba yan? Sino yung mga people of authority? Meron na tayong fatalist view na itong mga tao na to hindi na natin mababago.
Yeah.
But if only people were more right now sa time ni Digong, maraming mga aktivista, hindi yung aktivista ng mga komunista, yung aktivista ng mga tao na involved in social media right now na who are talagang promoting the government, the efforts of the government, who are defending the government. The 91% that you're talking about, Rick, if you can get the 91% to work together to really push for true reforms, solid yun. Diba? If there's a group out there na talagang who will get band all these these supporters together and then push for actual real reforms na tangible, something that you can see in a law where the people will talagang pressure their congressmen, their senators. Gumawa na tayo ng corrective mechanism. Let's come up with something na the people want, what the people want. Let's get our voices heard na gusto na natin ng pagbabago sa government. Para pagtapos ni Presidente Duterte, yung reforma will be permanent. Kahit sinong ilagay mo dyan, andyan yung, na talaga, meron ng corrective mechanisms in place even after PRRD's time. Diba? So yun yung, I'm hoping talaga na may catalyst by 2021. I don't know what it will be. Kasi so far, right now, Congress, as usual, is doing a very good job biding its time. Parang they're just being cooperative, but they haven't really done anything to alam mo yun, to talagang burn down the house and build another one, to build a new one. No, walang ganung efforts eh.
Wala.
They're just going with whatever is trending. President Duterte is trending, obviously, for the last 4 years. So they're just gonna cooperate or appear cooperative. They'll even join the party. But the truth of the matter is, they're all, not all, there's a large portion of that group of leaders that are just freaking corrupt.
Yep.
Diba? So how do you change it? It has to come from the people talaga. Not the way the communists are doing it through armed struggle. You need to galvanize the populace, the public, inform them, and then show themselves in the polls and pick the right person.
Yep.
And also, if we have advocacies, you want, like for example, changing the constitution, it has to really be loud. And it has to come from and gaya ng one takeaway, Rick, from that video from Michael Douglas, yung movement na yun, yung anti-corruption movement sa Amerika.
Yeah.
Big takeaway doon. Even studies based on studies all over the world, it only takes 3.5% of the population to make changes. If you convince 3.5% of the 100, ilang million na ba tayo, Rick? 110 million people?
110, yeah.
110 million Filipinos. 3.5%, Rick, is what? Around 3 million? Tama ba?
No, mga 4 or 5 siguro.
4 million people.
I mean, I get the point, no? And there are a lot of people that are convinced that the 1987 Constitution needs changing, no? No, some sort of reform. Um, I think the only lacking thing that we have is that driving force. Um, we have a lot of people supporting it, but we don't have a strong enough backer for it. That's my opinion.
Mm.
Like for example, this guy, Michael Douglas, very influential, right? And he has a lot of people. He has the machinery to that. I mean, not just him, but I mean the whole movement has the machinery already for that America Anti-Corruption Act.
Mm.
We could probably do something about that, but we need someone who will really drive that force. Eh. And everyone will just support, and everyone, kunwari, ito sila Mike, tayo, no? Sila Nielsen, tayo lahat. Orion, for that matter. As influential as Orion, I think kulang pa rin yung influence niya. Eh. We need somebody up there to really support. Whether it's from Congress, whether it's from the Senate, hopefully it's going to be Digong. Pero parang wala pa eh.
Wala pa nga eh.
So,
Yun na
yun
nga.
lang iniisip ko.
Well, ako talaga, sa totoo lang, I want to use the last few minutes of our program, Rick.
Hmm.
Um, this is not without bias. Just because we were able to experience her leadership. And
Hmm.
she also had the experience of coming after her father. After her father, sort of like build the foundation for uh, a Davao city that's more progressive, a
Hmm.
vastly improved city, no? Compared to how it was in the 80s, where it was known to be the killing fields of Asia or Southeast Asia. Kasi there were so many deaths and um, grabe rin yung operations ng NPA that time. And then when Digong came in the picture, talagang nabago niya yun. And Davao has
Yeah,
become one of the most peaceful cities in the country. And
agree.
along the way, when President Duterte yielded the the his the position of mayor, when Sara came into the picture, she was even stricter than the president, the mayor. Alam mo yun? And she's
So,
such I think she's a technocrat. She can read people. She's no bullshit. And she doesn't come from she's not swayed by influence or anybody. She's her own person. That's proven because of after she became mayor, after Mayor Duterte stepped down and became vice mayor, and then she became mayor. Wala,
mhm.
she did her own thing. She didn't
Yeah,
ask her,
she
her
listened to her dad.
diba? Yung mga tao
Yeah.
man hindi tinanggal niya lahat sa
So,
sa City Hall, diba? Pinalitan
yeah.
nila.
But
So,
the only reason, I think the only reason why she did that is she didn't want to be in her father's shadow.
at
Kumbaga,
saka,
she wanted to do her own thing.
at saka I mean, she wanted younger people to come in, and
Yeah,
and I think if si Sarah, uh, hopefully, I mean, God willing, if she became a successor to PRRD, and she does decide to run in 2022, yung prospects of the foundations that have been laid down in the time of PRRD, baka lalong talagang mas maging doon na talaga, baka doon na yung, kumbaga, doon natin ma-experience yung itsura ng building or ng
yeah.
itong nung tinayo ni PRRD. Tatapusin ni
True.
Sara. And I think it's gonna um, mas bibilis siguro yung progress ng Pilipinas because I think she's experienced enough and she understands how it should be done.
Yeah,
And diba? I think she'll do a really good job if ever she decides to to become president. And there will definitely be continuity na tinatawag yung matutuloy yung mga plano. At
No,
diba, yung
it's
20-year plan
I mean,
ng government, talagang makakamit natin. Ano yun, Rick?
no, all we need is for her to run for president. That's basically it, no? Kasi guarantee na talaga kung siya yung magiging president. She will change some stuff, no, some items, but she will definitely continue most of the things that Digong has started, especially in terms of siguro tong infrastructure, no, peace and order and stuff like that. And she will definitely look into that, and hopefully she'll be a supporter of constitutional reforms, no.
Mm.
Nagsabi rin si Marvick nag-comment ulit, no? Lately, si Harry Rocker would be vocal about federalism. Sana marami ma-reach nito. But it's really nice kung mas vocal talaga si PRRD sa mas merong impact. No? So, hopefully, that's going to be a start. No? What I'm thinking right now kasi, medyo patapos na rin kasi yung term ni Digong. Marami kasi talaga nangyari, especially this pandemic and stuff like that. And it really took his time away from constitutional reform. What I'm hoping really is towards the end of his term is he will talk about it, and then whoever the successor will be would actually continue on what he wants on constitutional reform.
Sana.
And that, no?
I think ano rin very critical yung first quarter of next year, Rick. I'm hoping that finally there will be a vaccine para yung ating yung focus ng government will not be too much on mitigation or prevention and that's going to be a given. It's the new normal nga, that's something that people should accept already, that it's not going to be the same. We will have to worry about the next pandemic because we experience one right now, and we should learn from this.
Yeah.
Hindi na tayo maging complacent with health standards and stuff like that, mga minimum health standards na we've been pushing.
Yeah.
This is going to be the norm. But yun na nga, ang ano na lang talaga idea dito, Rick, is ang hope dyan is by the first quarter, although sabi nila by June pa magkakaroon talaga ng vaccine.
No, the vaccine is out.
Yeah, but yung pag-administer nito, hindi ka agad-agad yan eh. Rick, may mga...
Yeah. The distribution, wala pa yan. Kasi,
yes.
From what I've heard, sino nga to? Si Pfizer or si AstraZeneca? Either one of them, developed this vaccine. And there are 2 doses. The first dose will give you about 92-93% immunity to the virus. And if you get the second dose, it will go up to 97-98% na safe ka. So 2 doses siya.
Okay.
The first country that ever got into an agreement with that pharmaceutical company is the UK. So sila ang unang magkakaroon nun. Ang only problem ko lang is the red tape that we have here in the Philippines.
Yeah, actually, Rick, wala ng red tape. Sa batas na natin yan. Sa Bayanihan Act, I think that they're trying to pass is yung regulations on procurement and lalo-lalo sa vaccine, talagang ipa-fast track na yan. So I don't think we should worry about that. Ang i-worry lang natin is to make sure that to pick the right vaccine, because obviously we wouldn't have ayaw natin na magkaroon ng problema like Dengvaxia na may adverse effects on people that na irreversible. Diba? May mga worries pa nga na it's gonna affect your DNA or stuff like that. So we have to be sure that walang adverse effects sa mga tao ang paggamit ng vaccine. I actually know that some people are a bit wary, or they're gonna wait for other people to try it first before they're gonna be willing participants in the vaccination process. But ultimately, Rick, ang natin dyan, ang point talaga ng conversation is, yes, we're all waiting for a vaccine so that at least may semblance of normalcy. But actually, Rick, if you think about it, ngayong December, mukhang ang dami na rin lumalabas. So,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
ano rin,
May
nakakatakot.
nakalay actually.
Diba?
Parami
So,
na ng parami ang lumalabas and local transmission of the virus has been continuous. Hindi naman siya nagbumaba talaga.
mm,
Dire-diretso pa rin yung virus. But the silver lining here is people are starting to learn how to live with that virus.
right.
Kasi parang just as long as you follow bida, I think you're safe eh. Wala namang problema. Di ba?
Okay.
So, um, just don't be careless. Kasi the moment you become careless, that's when you get the virus or some other infections. No?
Mm-mm.
So, yun lang naman eh. Um, I think I think that's a good thing that's happening because at least the economy is getting back to its feet. Money is circulating. People are earning money, spending money. I think okay siya. But people need to understand that the virus is still out there, and we really need to be careful all the time. No,
Mm.
always bring your pocket alcohol with you. Uh, Biogenic. Ito yung ginagamit ko dito. Baka naman gusto niyo mag-sponsor ng ano ng Istoryang Futbolero. Salamat. But in any case, my point is always ano lang, be careful lang when you're out there, no? If you touch surfaces and stuff, sa grocery ka, hawak ng mga items dyan, make sure that you sanitize your hands after. Diba?
Yun. So, let me read a few of the messages here, Rick, before we close shop. Si
Yeah.
Mike Apolonio, Sir Ron, Sir Eric, baka mapag-guest nyo si Jam Magno for fruitful discussions. We'll work on that,
Someone
Mike. We'll
someone actually said, Ron, that she was a guest of Mark kanina.
oh, yeah, cool.
Ano. Yeah,
Sige.
so we can probably ask Mark, right?
Yeah, sure, sure. We'll invite her to join us on Istoryang Futbolero. I'm sure she'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
Si Julio Trenta, keep your cards close to your chest. Yan ang tingin kong ginagawa ng kampo ni Inday Sara. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. I guess. Yeah.
very possible. But I'm hoping sana walang I hope she decides, even if it's last minute, I hope she decides to run kasi I think it's very important that she na may continuity like I said.
Yeah.
Si Dominic, sabi niya kung walang gagalaw sa Congress, at least man lang magtawag ng ang Pangulo ng referendum ng constitutional reform para man lang ma-pressure ang mga nasa Congress. I think ang problema dyan, Dominic, is when you call a referendum, it's going to entail the Congress to earmark money, a budget for it. And ang problema dahil sa pandemic, lahat ng mga bagay na hindi related to COVID-19 ay considered last priority. That's why yung ating kampanya sa uh, constitutional reform and even yung efforts ng correct movement ay nahihirapan dahil ang government ngayon, ang sole focus is on the pandemic and how to recover from it. Diba? How to bring the economy back. So I know ang maganda naman yung argument for constitutional reform as kumbaga it's one of the long-term solutions. Uh, you know, we need long-term solutions because of the aftermath of the pandemic. A lot of people are lost their jobs, economy is down, and if you want genuine change, it has to start with changing the FDI restrictions. No, I think that's also a way for us to open up our economy. We have to declare to the rest of the world that we don't have such 60-40 restrictions, which is ridiculous. So that can be a starting point for foreign entities to come in and establish their businesses here, so that it can generate jobs. If only that's communicated to Congress na hindi hinahaluan yung constitutional reform for term limits. Kasi yan parating banat ng kabila ng mga komunista. Kaya lang naman, gusto man amin parliamentary system, okay lang naman sa amin na magkaroon ng ng ganito, hindi naman kami sa federalismo. Kaso kasi pinapasok parati yung yung term extensions diyan eh. Gusto lang ng mga ibang tao diyan na magtagal sa kanilang posisyon at gamitin nila yung constitutional reform.
Yeah, I
And
mean, yun nga yung that's one of the things that we need to make clear. Now, the movement of constitutional reforms o yung correct movement is good. Pero nakikita ko lang sila, may website sila, meron silang tawag nito, meron silang Facebook page. But nothing more. I don't see anything significant that's coming across to people, no? So if that's the main concern, yun ang tirahin nila. Tirahin nila yung term extension rhetoric ng kabila. So I mean, I don't know, magkano ba gumawa ng commercial or something like that that we can circulate on social media.
mahal.
Madali lang naman siguro. I mean, pwede ka naman mag-homemade or something, di ba? I'm sure sa dami natin na supporters of correct movement, merong marunong mag-take ng video. Alam mo yun?
Hindi mo
Pakinggan na natin.
ginawa ko, Rick. May pinost ako sa Viber group natin na ginawa ng core. Yung constitutional reform. Napanood mo ba yung video na shinare ko sa Viber group natin?
Yeah, yun. Diba? I mean, that kind of material, madali sana yung gawin. Tapos, pagdating sa Facebook, i-boost mo lang. Magkano mag-boost? No? 1,000, 2,000 for a week. Game. I mean, it will cost some money, yes. But if you really want to make it across to people, no, to a wider demographic, then you're gonna have to do something else than a Facebook page and a website. It's well and good, but para sa akin kulang. Lalo na wala pa tayong backer na malakas. So, if that comes across, so for example, may ginawa tayong infographic or info video, something like that. I don't know what it's called. Parang ad commercial na ito lang yung mga main points ng constitutional reform. This is the old, this is the new. Ito yung new gusto namin because it addresses the problems of the old. What are the problems of the old? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep it short and simple. 5 main problems. And then ito yung solutions ng reforms na pinopropose namin. Meron ba kaming nilagay na na term extension? Wala po. That's none. And if it comes across somebody very influential, for example lang, Ramon Ang. Sinabi ni Ramon Ang, uy, okay yan. And I support that. So maybe Ramon Ang would actually spend for it, diba? Something like that. I don't know, man.
That's a good idea, Rick, kasi may mga efforts naman talaga na gumagawa ng mga videos or materials about constitutional reform or yung sa correct movement. People like Aris Olea, people we know, si Mocha, si Banat Bay, they've been creating videos on this. But imagine if you expand that to people who are not hindi aligned to the government, na talagang very neutral yung stance nila, yung hindi mo alam, apolitical people na biglang all of a sudden they come out and say, you know what, it's about time that we change the constitution. Mas powerful yun. Kaya ang effort talaga natin dapat is to convince and to entice people to get to know what it is. Kasi marami, like Mikel, ikaw, di ba, yung umpisa, hindi naman yung alam ko yung core. Hindi naman yung alam yung constitutional reform until napag-usapan natin.
Katulad ng topic natin tonight, hindi ko talaga alam kung ang topic natin yun.
Hindi, these are the issues of the week or last week. Pinapag-usapan lang natin ngayong Monday.
Yeah. I was like, nakakatawa yung sa mga nanonood, nakakatawa talaga si Ron. Hindi niya nire-reveal kung anong topic of that night. So nabibigla na lang kami ni Mikalo. Okay, ito pala yung papag-usapan natin. Sige.
Ganun talaga yun, para spontaneous.
Para spontaneous. So,
Anyway, Rick, I just want to thank all the people who viewed us tonight. Si Marivic Solis, of course, pwede i-target yung audience dun like 18 up pag i-advertise yung isang post. Sa TikTok daw,
Yeah.
sabi ni Dominic Solpico. Thank you so much, Dominic, Mike, for joining us. And also si Julio, Juvie, and Faye Fresco. Sabi niya si PRD sapat na. Magsusunuran na kami mga supporters. Sana nga, kung si PRD sana ay
yeah, oo.
kung umabot sana yung ating passionate plea about constitutional, that we support his efforts, baka he'll make a move. Kaso nga, yun na nga, medyo natabunan ng pandemic. Si Rafi, thank you Rafi for joining us. Si Mike Apolonio, and also and a few others who are si Nilson Obligar, who's also for federal parliamentary, and si Juvie Taguba earlier,
Hmm.
and si Suzy Pai, G Ibor, yon, and well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Rick, final words before we end the program. Si Trixia Catalina watching from Rizal. We will support our president all the way. Yun, si Trixia, thank you.
Thank you.
From Butuan daw si Jam Magno.
Butuan. Okay. Cool.
Good to know. Si
Right,
Eddie was just listening. Okay, go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, okay. So again, thank you for everyone for tuning in. Sorry medyo na late kami kasi nagkaroon kami ng problems with audio kanina. Akala ni Ron ako yung may problema, siya pala yung may problema. So we were nagpiping-pong kami ni Ron kanina. Hindi namin alam kung anong gagawin namin. But buti na lang naayos namin, and now we're here. So thank you again for waiting for us. Thank you again for spending an hour and a half with us tonight. No. So big takeaway. I think one of my big takeaways ngayon is really the people will really need to choose the correct president as they did in 2016. It's going to be tough right now because we still don't know who's gonna run, no. But we're hoping that some people will do run, as para lang ma-continue yung legacy ni President Duterte. Now, aside from that, no. Yes.
If I may, Rick, I just want to say, sige, tapusin mo na lang yung sabihin mo, but before I interject. Sige, go ahead.
Okay. And one of the things that we talked about and I'm really passionate about is itong constitutional reforms. As I've said kanina, I think we really need to do something more drastic, no, more creative and more informative for people to latch on, to catch on. Kasi a lot of people, pag sinabi kasi talagang constitutional reform, ang laging nilang naiisip is yung negative connotation ng cha-cha. Diba? Yun eh. And hindi natin maiwasan yun. And that's why we need to do more information campaigns on this type of constitutional reforms. No? Yung gusto natin mangyari. Mike actually mentioned na pati sana ibang bloggers like Mark Lopez, Trixie Cruz Angeles, Conrad Banal, and Larry Gadon, sana they will also support constitutional reform. They will if they know what they're supporting. But right now kasi, I don't think they truly understand what what they want to support or itong constitutional reform. So again, pag nauso ito mga information campaigns natin at maraming naabot, magiging uso siya eh. So magkakaroon talaga ng drive. The thing is lang, kulang pa tayo. We need more people. We need more support. We need a bigger players also to support this. No, so we can start with the bloggers. We can start with but we need to keep on informing people about the good things about this constitutional reform. We're trying our best dito sa Istoryang Futbolero. I hope you guys appreciate that. But we need something big na to catch people's attention and really to convey the right message about constitutional reform. Kasi again, may maling connotation kasi pumapasok sa isip ng mga tao when we talk about constitutional changes. No? Term extension lagi yan. No? Tsaka yung mga kung ano-ano mga mali na iniisip nila. So we really need to do some more information campaigns. So that's for me. That's my opinion, and hopefully it happens because again, I mean, kahit family ko, if I talk to them about constitutional reform, medyo mahirap eh. I-explain ko talaga na hindi, ganito ang gusto nila mangyari, ganyan. And I support it. It's not term extension, it's not cha-cha, whatever, ganyan. We need to do small steps. So, identify natin kung ano yung top 5 na gusto natin mangyari muna, and let's go for that top 5 things. So, FDI, ganon, anti, ano yun? Oh, yeah, yung mga... Basta, yeah. Limiting mga ganyan. So, yun yung mga gusto natin mangyari. So, let's focus on the top 3 to 5 things, and then let's do information campaigns on that. So, we need to talk about it also. Kung ano ba yung gusto natin mangyari. So, that's it for me, guys. So, again, thank you very much.
Right. Cool, man. Wednesday, our special guest on Wednesday is, Jason Luengo, Rick, owner of Tribu.
Tribu, talaga? Wow, cool. Yeah. Yung outdoor, yung mga stock na Tribu.
Outdoor.
Bumibili ako ng mga tsinelas niya dati.
Si Jason, Bisaya rin yun, taga Davao. Maganda, gusto natin pag-usapan sa Wednesday is yung kwento ni Jason about how he started. Kasi from humble beginnings rin si Jason. Dati, dahil wala siyang ganong funds, wala siyang pera before, gumagawa siya ng sarili niyang sandals. Alam mo ba yun, Rick? Na mahilig siya mahilig siya mag-trekking, mahilig siya magbukid. Wala siyang pambili ng sapatos, wala siyang pambili ng mga hiking boots. Siya gumawa ng kanyang mga outdoor tsinelas. Doon nagsimula yung negosyo. Ang galing, di ba?
Dami kong Tribu na tsinelas before.
Tapos yung mga kaibigan niya, nakita lang yung tsinelas na nagustuhan. Tapos, ikaw gumawa niyan, Jace. Paggawa naman kami. Doon nagsimula yung negosyo niya. Ngayon, it's a multi-million peso business. I'm just saying that I think he'd be great for the program on Wednesday kasi it could be a source of inspiration for our viewers who are thinking of doing their own thing. There's nothing is impossible if you set your mind to it. And if you have a good idea, it will shine as long as you believe in it.
Definitely, man. Amen.
Diba? And I just wanted to add, I want to interject kanina when you were talking about, 2022. I think from here on in, I just think that Sarah is the right person for it. Even if she has no plans yet of running for president in 2022, I'm hoping there'll be enough people like what happened with PRRD na kahit walang plano si Mayor Digong na maging presidente, kagulat-gulat nga na naging na-entertain yung idea na siya tumakbo, ay sana gano'n rin mangyari kay Sarah na siya rin nakamalit. Kasi I think
And hopefully she answers to the clamor. Yun yung importante.
Well, kailangan ng mga tao na talagang i-push siya na tumakbo. So I think I would like to be one of those people who will support and who will talk about her so that more people will talk about her. You know what I mean? Na sana will run for 2022. So Juvie, salamat ha. We'll catch you on Wednesday. Mike, don't forget our guest, si Jason Luengo of Tribu Sandals, Tribu Outdoors on Wednesday. Hopefully we can get Jam Magno to come in with para jam-pack tayo sa Wednesday. We'll invite her to join us. If not Wednesday, Monday with Mark Lopez. Isama natin si Mark if we invite si Jam Magno to the program on Istoryang Futbolero. So thank you folks for watching. Belated happy birthday to Orion. And advance happy birthday, Sir Orion. Okay. But birthday ni Orion, nag-inuman siya nung Friday kaya wala kaming vlog. Kasi may mga kasama sa Singapore. nag-live broadcast siya. Nag-live streaming siya while chatting with these guys na guest niya on his birthday.
So, nag-birthday na, nag-greet ko na rin siya.
Oo nga. Such a cool guy. Keep
Yeah.
keep up the good fight, guys. Salamat sa pagkinig sa Istoryang Futbolero. Make sure to remember the basic guidelines of the DOH and the DILG. Bida ang may disiplina. Bawal ang walang mask. Isanitize ang mga kamay. Distansya ng 1 metro. At alamin ang totoong impormasyon. You guys have a good one. Stay safe. Bye, y'all. See ya. And
Take care.
yeah. Adios.